Welcome to Hoyt's Bowhunting Whitetails. It's the morning of November 20th, and I'm back up on this ridge that I've been hunting fairly often throughout the rut. I still think that any deer in this area is going to end up on this point. If it's a buck out looking for does, or I mean really even a doe moving through here to bed, this is a very likely spot for those deer to end up. It's a really nice morning. It's in the middle 30s, and it's supposed to stay in the 30s all day here. Wind is supposed to kick up out of the west in the 15 to 17, 18 mile per hour range. I don't know if we're going to sit all day. I guess we'll wait and see how the action develops this morning. But Amos is going to be filming me now for a couple of days until Carson gets back. And at some point this morning, we'll get an update from Amos and how his hunting for that big marsh buck has been going. Time to bear down. Hopefully there'll be some action moving back into this bedding area soon. Hoyt's Bowhunting Whitetails is brought to you by Redneck Blinds, Code of Silence Apparel, Hunt Stand Pro Whitetail App, Whitetail Institute, Research Equals Results, B3 Releases, XO Broadheads, Exact Sights, Muddy Outdoors Tree Stands, Stealth Cam Trail Cameras, and Hoyt. It's 10 o'clock. Wanted to give you a quick update. We had a young buck come in out on the point a little bit ago. This wind, I'm telling you what, it just seems like way more than half of the predicted wind forecasts have been wrong. Could have a little bit to do with this terrain too, because it seems like the wind will blow for about 30 seconds and then it'll stop, and then it just washes back and forth. The air just washes back and forth, and he picked us up out there. And you might be thinking, so what? But the problem is, what other deer are we not seeing that are picking us up? You know, it's supposed to be a west wind. Right now it's blowing from the southeast. But then if you give it a minute, it'll start coming from the west again, and then it'll stop. It's just really, really hard winds to to hunt this year. It's the worst I've ever seen as far as like the predictability of the wind. It looks as if our buddy Thor is back. He's behind us about 50 yards away, feeding in the brush. A little button buck. He's been sometimes the only entertainment that we've had in this stand. As long as there's no deer around, I'm going to go ahead and try to shoot it if it comes in here. Got another snow squall coming through here. Thought it might be a fun time to talk about how to stay warm in a stand. I think the temperature is obviously below freezing here. We don't have a lot of wind, maybe 5 to 10 miles per hour wind. I was asking Amos if he was cold. He said the only thing that was cold on him was his feet. That's pretty much where I'm at too. The trick to staying warm on a stand is selecting the correct items and having a layering system that gives you the flexibility to change it from day to day. So let's go over real quick what I'm wearing here and how I arrived at this system. I'm wearing the Coat of Silence, and they've got 3 different levels now of warmth. They've got the merino wool for early season fair winds line, and then they've got, I think it's called something Versa 7 something. I should know my lines better, but that's more like a mid-season, and then they have the cold fall, which is the really late season stuff. And I've got the late season bibs and the mid-season jacket, and that works pretty well for me. I've got the heavier parka, and I may wear that if it gets really cold. But anyway, getting back to the individual pieces, you can't beat a insulated bib. They're pretty awesome. I recommend that wholeheartedly because that eliminates that cold spot in your lower back. If you're wearing pants, even with a parka, it seems like you can never get rid of that cold spot, where the bib being insulated all the way up through your chest and into your lower back, that eliminates that cold spot. And they're easy to carry. The ones that we use they have the zippers on the legs, and so you can slip them on when you get to the tree. I don't wear any of my outerwear in or out to the stand. I wear everything else but the outerwear. And then I put that on when I get to the stand. You can see I've got the hood from my base layer pulled up over my head here, and that just provides a little bit more warmth around the sides of my face and around my neck. Those are critical areas, and I really need, I've got the neck gaiter that Code of Silence makes, but if you're really serious about staying warm, you need to keep your head and your neck warm. Amos was saying that he read some study that a high percentage of your body heat gets lost out through your head and neck. And I totally believe that. It almost seems like just throwing a face mask on makes it seem like it's 15, 20 degrees warmer outside. Just that one simple step. I've got 3 types of boots that I wear. I've got more of like a mountain boot, which is uninsulated. And that's what I wore today, just to, for the climb up in here, coming up the bluff. And I probably didn't need it. Probably should have gone with my second boot, which is my lightly insulated boot that I wear for most of the season. And I'm not even sure how much thin-slate insulation is in that, but, a moderate amount, let's say, 600 grams or something like that. And then I've got another boot. It's a pack boot that I got from Cabela's many years back. It was the Saskatchewan pack. And I think they still make that, and if they don't, I'm sure they've got something similar in the line. And these things are awesome. I'll wear them, on any kind of a really cold late season hunt. They're not great to walk in, obviously, but man, they keep your feet warm. Hands, I wear these jersey gloves, and they're not very warm, but they're good. I've got good, dexterity of my fingers. I can handle my bow and feel my release aid. I don't want to wear thick gloves on stand or in the blind. So you have 2 options. You can either, like I do here, I can put my hands in my pockets. I've got hand warmer pockets. That works fine, or you can just get a hand warmer and strap that around your waist and put your hands in that. I'd rather do that than wear big, thick gloves that I'd have to take off when the deer approached. It would be kind of nice if we had to find out what happens when a deer does approach, because it's been a little bit of a slow day overall here. We've had a fawn, a small buck, and we bumped 2 of something out of here in the dark when we were coming in. Had the coyote, and he or she took a step down off a log at the time when I shot, and I shot over at it. No excuse. But that's been our action for today. It can change at any minute, but I thought it'd be kind of fun to talk about how to stay warm when it's blowing snow, and it maybe looks worse than it is, but it's not super comfortable. But the point is, the coming week, and I'm sure the weeks in the future, are going to be a lot colder than this, and having the right system is critical to staying warm. If you're not warm, you're not going to be out there, and if you're not out there, you're not going to be successful, obviously. The other solution I've found, and I really like it, is get in the blind with the LP heater going. We'll be doing some of that here in the next few weeks too. I'm going to keep my head on a swivel. We don't want that buck that we're hunting to show up and catch us staring at the ground with our hands in our pockets. That's one thing that happens. A lot of times we get uncomfortable with the conditions, and we're just toughing it out, trying to make it to the end, and you stop paying attention, and that's usually when the deer you're hunting shows up. Wind is kicking up now. Man, that wind has been so squirrely up here today. It's been really a challenge to figure out where our scent is blowing. That doe might have picked up on Amos getting into position to film, but she also might have picked up our scent. I don't know which one it was. They weren't really badly spooked, but they were spooked nonetheless. I don't think I'm going to come back to this spot tomorrow. Just got too many hours logged here, and it's time to probably move down the ridge a little ways and try that spot further out on the end. That's a good spot too. Then in the next couple of days, I'm going to start heading towards food in the evenings. But it was encouraging, like I said, to see that group up in here. At least we don't feel like we're out here alone. Like I said, we got about an hour left, and if anything happens during this last hour, we'll show it to you on the rest of this video. I appreciate you joining me here, and we'll see you right back here again tomorrow for the next episode of Hoyt's Bowhunting Whitetails. And remember to always dream big. He said big if you didn't hear it.